Hello everyone and welcome back to Medieval Engineers, where we're working on our Citadel as always. And as you can see off camera, I have been working a little bit more on our castle keep. And this of course is going to be one of the center points and the location of the king statue. So this is where you're all fighting for. It's really only one way in, so it's the most defensive spot of the whole castle unless they somehow manage to build like a ladder right here up the wall and into the structure. This is it. I built this great room, and of course this is where the throne and everything would be, or main dining area. It might not be a great room after all. The main entryway is pretty open as well, though it has this low spot to accommodate a second floor getting across here and accessing this area. So it's going to be quite an interesting build. It's going to have a lot of details in terms of buttressing and additional additions. So I'm looking forward to completing this structure. It's going to be 3 stories in some area. It's going to be 2 stories in others. So it's going to be layered fairly well. I've already marked out some areas for our basic towers. And we're just going to pretty much jump right into this. The second floor here is going to be wooden, which is pretty cool because it allows us some good color shift from this solid gray structure that we have right now into some more browns and whites, something to make it look a little bit more like home. I might even bring some not wooden, but stone up throughout the structure. Maybe start doing effects like this as well. Who knows? It's gonna be a experience. Go ahead and mark out this square tower here. So it has some of its own just normal defensive battlements. Let's see, I think I want a window there. Still getting a little bit of block lag, and essentially every time I place a block, the game stutters for just a second or so while it refreshes all of our structural integrity at once. I can't wait till that code is reworked a little bit, because right now it feels a little inefficient. But again, early access, this is expected. Throw those in there to kind of cover up that ugly spot, and keep going up. So I'm thinking the areas with the 3rd floor will be this back section. This section here is only going to be 2-story, which I'll add now. Actually, I don't like that spot for a window. I'm gonna change it. Let's put X here and an X here. Why not? And at these points, we can just do that pattern. Okay, so this will be a wonderful single story, or technically 2-story. I need to put a stone wall here because it needs to match that area, and of course I lag and misplace the block. Seems to be a regular occurrence nowadays. And we need a door to kind of get into this section. So something like this, I think, will work out just fine. Come on, place. Thank you. So this way they can come up, and there's a living space right here, or they can go straight across to another living space. Now these, I'm going to have doors here and craft kind of an overwatch so people can see as they come in. And, ooh, actually it looks like this section I already set up for a third floor preemptively. So maybe everywhere else is going to have a third floor too. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So we need probably a doorway here. Something like that. Because this is kind of a defensive battlement area. People can see as you come up the steps. And it looks like I'm supposed to put a floor up on this section, which is fine by me. I can do that. Alright. There we go. It's gonna look weird because this tower is a little low, but it might look cool because it's kind of embedded into the building rather than just exposed. So, because we're up on the third floor, we need something unique. I'm gonna put a little balcony right here. And shift the windows a little bit, just so we're not repeating. Make sure that is at a different angle. And I'm definitely going to be bringing some type of stone facade up these structures so it's not quite this sudden shift. Or what you can also do, starting to stammer a little bit, is do things like this. And this just provides a break for your eye to rest on between the wooden and stone parts. It's a fairly normal technique, I think, for these type of things. And the question is, you wouldn't be able to fit through that, which is no good because it's the only access point. This one I can put here because really, who's gonna want to go back there? Really no one. So that's okay. Kind of wish there was a little block to fit in those type of areas, but that's something I don't have or any power to add myself. And I'll just throw these there. And just like that. So that's that story, and you get up here by going through the defensive tower. There's no direct path to get up to this third floor. You actually have to go through the, I believe this is going to be the kitchen area of some kind. Always nice to have the kitchen connected straight next to the Great Hall. Maybe this is just their, well, it's going to have a balcony. I was going to say pantry, but that makes no sense. Let's add this, like so. Give ourselves a nice viewpoint. Now, do I want to do these stone effects or wooden? I'm thinking about just doing a wooden railing for this. Now, because the balcony is coming off this way, it would be best if I made the roof do something like this, so that there's a flat area and it provides a nice little break and sudden plane shift. So you can just start right underneath the windowsill, go across. You are going to have a little bit of a weird overhang for the roof, but that's okay. It's fairly normal when you're doing awning roofing like this. So you can see we're going to have overhang, but you can kind of tidy that up just with wooden blocks. And now for this, which will probably stay like so. Some type of support for that section. And use a door, because it's a very nice wide supporting structure for that. And we have to come up to the top to lay these down. Wish that wasn't the case. And there is that sort of roof support. Now over here, I don't want to do a slanted roof, so we're going to have to do another little front. Go. And then same on this axis. Come on, show me where you're going. Seems like I spend the most time just doing roofing in this game. Hope you guys don't mind, but it is kind of the more complex part. There. Actually, maybe it's best to just do the V shape. I'm kind of not using it very much, so you just use these upside down and get a nice merging cross beam. And then there's that with that third floor. Let's add our pillars to the balcony here, right at the corners. And then normal cross beam. I've been sticking these out by one because it just adds another layer of detail. And then what you can do is design your railing. So I'm going to do something like this, and then actually bring it up. I was going to bring it up all the way, but it might not work very well. You know, maybe that roof is plenty supported. We can just have an open railing. That's fine. Same with over here. Now for the actual railing parts, not the posts, I tend to use the timbered round because it gives a little bit of a break. So all about mixing and matching different materials to give you a nice effect. And you can also put it on top here. Add a some posts will have like a ball on top, and since we don't really have a complete rounded object, we can just do that. And there you go. You have a railing for this balcony. It fits. It's low. It's proportionate to the character. You know, it's waist high. The default one is still, in my opinion, pretty atrocious for proportion. Gotta change that support, and boom. So let's just pop the roof on, and then what we'll do is, gonna have to do something like this just to make it fit and make sense. So there's not going to be an overhang there. Anyways, what we're going to do for the rest of the build is I'm going to do it off camera, and we will come back to hopefully a completed castle. I'll give you guys a grand tour. It's not going to be furnished just yet. It's going to be for the detailing episode. And I've come to conclusions. If this is supposed to be a PvP map, something with multiplayer in mind, I don't think I'm going to add a bunch of furniture. Maybe in the keep, yes, because it's kind of a focal point, but everywhere else, no. And I want to do that just because I want everyone to be able to run this map smoothly, hopefully without too many frame rate drops. So that is why I am foregoing 100% detail. It's just too big. It's just too big of a map to worry about something like that. Then we will also add these little cross beams, just like that. There we go. And then from the inside, I'm going to have to add this beam to kind of seal off the roof. Come on, I know I can get this thing like one in. At least I normally can. I think the windmill blade's stopping me from doing that. Pretty weird. That's alright. I can just do it this way. Just seal it off from the inside. So, there we go. And the people that, you know, guard right here, they'll have a little bit of shade. I've also went ahead and placed around some catapult locations, just using the copy paste. So you can see we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 total defensive catapults. I could add a defensive trebuchet, but trebuchets take up a lot more room than just a catapult. And I figure they also throw them farther, and you don't really need a whole lot of range when you're defending, because you already have such a height advantage on this map that you don't need the extra range, because the height's giving you that by default. I also, just before we skip and show you guys kind of the finished keep, I built this. This is just a small storehouse up here in the mountains to, you know, provide some really defensive storage that, you know, for long sieges they can gather materials from there. I don't think it's really possible to hit that high, which is why I don't mind putting the keep so close to the outer wall either, because to aim that high at something, you basically need a trebuchet, and you need to bring that trebuchet fairly close. And these will be protecting that, and then also, I mean, you'll have people with bows now, which is going to be amazing. Anyways, I'll be right back as soon as this is done, and we'll see what it's like. Alright everyone, so this is the finished keep. Well, mostly finished. It's missing a bunch of the interior details, as is every building, but I can go ahead and give you a little bit of a tour. So from outside, there's obviously some height layering going on. There's some windmill blades to provide a different direction roof. This area was a bit of a pain to do and merge together and just get right. And then we also have this balcony, which I apparently forgot to put the supports in. I'll do that off camera. You know, plenty of round towers. There's 5 in all. Their height depends on kind of what they're near. There's balconies, I believe, and just plenty of roofing. I think it fits the area really nice. It's kind of the capstone for our Citadel, and really it's just pretty beautiful. Now this lower wall, all of this gray here, I'm going to be doing stone inlay and something to break it up, because right now it's just a little too much gray. But if I tried to make it mountainside, I feel like this path would just be too narrow. So that's why it's pretty much stuck like that. So let's go ahead and hop inside. You guys can see how it flows. It's kind of an entryway. You can go out to the outer battlements from here, and just these two guard towers up here. Oop, apparently forgot to add the floor. I need to do that just real quick. There we go. Anyways, so we got some, basic troop battlements for this, and it has a wonderful view of just the Citadel in general. It's hard to find a poor view when you're on a balcony or anything tall in this save, so I'm really happy with the way that turned out. These are missing the interior wooden details. In fact, I am gonna equip a torch real quick just so you guys can see what's all in here. It will make it a little pink, but that's okay. So, grand entryway, fairly open, leading to kind of a side room here, and this leads out to, actually I didn't even finish this thing right here. This is just going to be another square tower. It's going to be a shorter one. It's only supposed to be about this tall. Anyways, I can add that off camera as well. Putting on the roof and everything else seemed to be taking up most of my time. Connecting hallway to kind of a back patio. This is definitely an outside space. It's supposed to be an outside space, hence why there's windows and things of that nature. This path goes up to the windmill and the airship dock. Now the tower right here is just another kind of troop tower, and it's missing a floor as well. Obviously, the contractors have been cutting corners, so we'll have to excuse that. Good view as always. Love the windmill. Love everything else. Great view from here, overlooking the woods, and then you can see just a little bit of the front gate and one of the defensive catapults. Down inside, as soon as I can find the door, I'm lost. We'll just hop down conveniently without a floor and move on to this side room, which accesses the third floor on this side. Fairly open third floor here. This larger balcony with an even better view of the front gate and wilderness off in the distance. Another side room, and then you can continue up, of course, to kind of the main defensive tower right here. So, a lot to see, This tour is taking a while. Just keep heading down and around. I'm trying to get through this. Of course, the main Great Hall. This is where all the tables and things would be set up. Actually, no, this isn't a banquet hall. We already have a banquet hall. It's down there. This would be the actual throne room and things. Some type of kitchen for the residents. Come on, up the stairs. Thank you. Third floor. If I can get up here. On this side is just one big open room with a nice balcony. You guys seen me build this. Not much new here. And then at the top we have a little bit of a covered section in case it's raining. The guards can kind of tuck down underneath here. And that is about it, though there is this section. I didn't climb these towers for you guys, but you can generally see what the view would be like. And it overlooks the Citadel nicely. A couple flags for effect, and that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you can check out my other videos for more gaming goodness. And if you can follow me on Twitter, I'll put a link to that in the description as well. It's fairly nonsensical stuff. And then leave a like, dislike, comment on what you guys think, and let me know on what you would like me to build next. I'll see you guys in the next episode.